All right, we still have one more story to go. And the leadership of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Association of Nigeria, Pengassan, says its strike expected to commence today would be total.
Now, the strike was called in view of alleged insensitivity of the federal government to resolve some issues affecting the oil and gas sector. Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, and the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, are expected to meet with the aggrieved leadership of the union and the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, on Monday to find solutions to the disputes. All right, we're joined now by the Pengassan President, Francis Johnson. Good morning to you and thanks for joining us. Now, this latest call for strike, really comes as a surprise to many Nigerians. Some of us actually would have thought that by now, the challenges in the oil and gas sector would have been, taken care of to a very large extent. Why is this coming up now, this strike? All right, it looks like our guest did not hear me. Francis Johnson, let me just rephrase my question again. Pengassan is going on strike again, but it has this discussion that's coming up with government come Monday, but you insist on going on this strike today. Why?
Well, good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning.
Well, these issues are issues that have been on ground since as far as 15th of March 2016. And it was some of these issues that also led to Mr. President calling for a meeting with the leadership of Pengassan and the PENG. And what we are also saying, and which what we want Nigerians to also bear is this: when there are issues on ground, we should desist from doing fire brigade approach to issues. We also give ultimatum. And when you are apprehending issues, there are also ways to also do it. You don't wait till the last minute, 2 days to the beginning of an action. You now say you want to apprehend an issue. So thereby portraying us as if you are insensitive. We are all Nigerians and we can never be used against any government to also cause crisis. And so when we are scheduled to have a meeting, the first meeting was May 24. But the government and us agreed that because of the ILO, let's put this meeting to June 23rd. On June 23rd, we were supposed to have a meeting with them. We wrote them on Thursday preceding that June 23rd. That was Thursday, Friday, Monday, not on the Tuesday afternoon. They sent a text and they replied to us that that meeting cannot hold on June 23rd. That it has been confirmed for June 30. And so when we saw it, we said, well, as responsive labor, we take it, no problem. Our members came down on June 27th for this meeting scheduled for June 30. And so we're also meeting that, okay, let's review how we're going to handle this meeting. What are the issues, what are the minimum, what are the maximum? So I can also make sure that we come with a position that also be accepted to us. When I remember when we came in, it was around 11:15.
Yes.
That we received a text from Director of TUCIR in Federal Ministry of Labour that the meeting of June 30 had been postponed indefinitely.
Wow.
So okay. Now I'm mandated as Secretary General, please put a call to the Director that if the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources is not around.
Mr. Johnson, yes. Mr. Johnson, you walk us through that just in a moment, but I'm really worried. This particular issue, you're going to tell us what the issues are in a moment, but what happened between the liberalization of the price of PMS and now? There seemed to be a marriage between Pengassan and the federal government. Mm-hmm. What happened? What changed, really?
No, on the issue of deregulation of the oil and gas, for every Pengassan and the Pen statement and issues, these are things we also have been saying. However, we put a caveat that importation, deregulation can only thrive when our refineries are made to be working. So that local production can also make sure that whatever the gaps, whatever foreign exchange you are going to spend, local production can also do it. But when you have a situation that you give refineries crude supply for 12 days, after 12 days you shut down the refinery. And these refineries are aging. And so what are the plans to put the refinery in good state to make sure that they are working?
But are you saying concerning
so if the refineries are working well?
Yes. Are you saying then that, concerning some of these demands that you've made, including ensuring that the refineries are working, that government is not doing anything in that regard? I mean, you've talked about job losses, delay in PIB, that's the Petroleum Industry Bill, inability of NNPC to meet piling debts to international oil companies, the IOCs. Are you saying government has not in any way tried to meet you halfway?
No. Those are issues that also negate what we are going through. What I say. Our issue is a communique on May 12. Let me give you an example. For the issue of the IOC JV cash call, we are not saying NNPC is owing, we are saying government is owing. And so, when this government came on board, the marketers have been owing lump sum of money. And over the period of time, those things are things of the past. And what we're also saying that we know that financial, there is problem in financial something now. We say, okay, tell us the plans you have to also make sure that you can pay this thing. Because non-payment of these cash calls affect our members adversely. Non-payment of cash calls also affect our service sector due to contracts IOC are giving them. And non-payment of cash calls also are leading to redundancy and job cut losses in our members. So those are the issues we are saying about the cash calls. Then the issue of PIB, we also have said the executive and legislature, let them close ranks and make sure that this PIB don't go the way of the past regime. Because most of these issues in coordinating in this house, right, are also embedded in the PIB. So if the PIB is passed now, it becomes a legal framework. Okay. They're also talking of the issue of refineries, which I've said.
Why do you think the government is reluctant? Mr. Johnson, why do you think the government is reluctant in passing the PIB?
Well, we don't know. But we also know that, you see, let me tell you, we also look at it that some of these issues are political. Because the past regime believed that NNPC is a cash cow. So by the time you pass PIB, there will be some level of transparency in NNPC. So you also look at it that, okay, if this government comes on board, let's also see. You have told the Minister of State severally, let us have your own governance bill and let's see what we can also do. So that if we are going to look at the issue of PIB, we have our input, Pengassan, we have our input, and we do public hearing. And Nigeria can also seek. So that's what we're also saying. And this is also believe that it should build on the front burner. Like, for example, look at the communication sector. The Communication Act is there. And so those are also regulating. But the PIB, if passed into law and assented to by Mr. President, become a legal framework for operation in oil and gas.
Now, you said that the Nigerian government is owing. We hear that the figure is somewhere around $7 billion that's owing the international oil companies. At a time when Nigeria is in dire financial straits, do you expect this government to pay out this amount in one lump sum? Or should it be paid in tranches in such a way that the government projections don't get crippled?
What we are saying is this: if you are owing, you have debts, you must draw a repayment plan and say, okay, between now and June or between now and September, these are what you have, the plans you have on ground. And over the years, gradually. And so when we see the commitment that yes, XYZ have been done, definitely, we know that the situation is very tight. And so once we have that in place and we look at it and we're also monitoring it and our members are satisfied, entitlements, the service sector are being paid their contracts, definitely. So we're not saying that they should pay it today or pay it tomorrow. But let us meet and look at it so that Nigeria can also feel the impact of everything.
All right, Mr. Johnson, on his quite a little just different from what we are talking. Do you get paid monthly? Do you get your monthly salary? Your members, do they get their monthly salaries?
Well, because of the issue in the crude oil prices, the salaries are also not as regular. For example, let me tell you the IOCs. Even some of them took loans to also pay. And when we're also talking of Nigerians about this issue of non-payment of salary in some states, we have said, and even TUC and NLSA also been meeting, that what do we do? If state governments are being paid bailout funds, what are they doing with that money? We need to also charge them. Have we seen a situation when the governors are being owed, where the governor aides are being owed? So I now put all in workers that are also paying that salary, that are also going to elect you to be in that office. Why against that?
All right, we'll have to say thank you so much, Francis Johnson, Pengassan president, for speaking to us. Of course, the planned strike that's to take off today, not good news to many Nigerians.